standing in the way of progress right now is this Republican supermajority legislature that only took 48 hours to turn the clock back 50 years on women's health. Let's be clear. This bill has nothing to do with making women safer and everything to do with banning abortion.
Over the weekend, North Carolina's Democratic Governor Roy Cooper vetoed legislation that would have banned nearly all abortions in his state after 12 weeks of pregnancy instead of the current 20 weeks. But that is not where this story ends, because the legislature has the power to override his veto and still enact the ban because of what one state lawmaker did back on April 3rd. Tricia Cotham, who ran and won as a pro-choice Democrat, switched parties, giving the Republicans a veto-proof supermajority. She voted for the 12-week ban, despite co-sponsoring a bill to codify abortion protections into state law earlier this same year. And joining me now is North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper. Governor Cooper, thank you for being here. I watched your press conference over the week, or your event over the weekend, at which you were cheered by doctors standing with you and by women for vetoing this legislation. But you have called out three names. State Representative John Bradford, who said that he would not seek additional restrictions. I believe he's a Republican. State Representative Ted Davis, who did not vote on the bill last week and said last year that the law should stay at 20 weeks. And State Representative Cotham, who I will just put this tweet up on May 3rd, 2022. She said we need leaders who will be unwavering and unapologetic in their support of abortion rights, and said, I will fight to codify Roe and continue my strong record of defending the right to choose. That's what she said not long ago. Now she switched sides. Do you think any of those three will join you in upholding your veto?
We certainly hope so, Joy. All it takes is one. The Republicans have a supermajority by one vote in the House and one vote in the Senate, and we need one Republican in either chamber. These were promises made to their constituents that they would protect women's reproductive freedom, that they would keep the law as it is right now. And here we have a bill that's been dressed up as a 12-week ban, and they call it reasonable, when in actuality, it puts restrictions on clinics. It puts obstacles in front of women, and it's going to be very difficult for them to be able to get care. And in fact, this legislation will operate as an effective ban on abortions for many women, particularly those who are working in low-wage jobs, who have children, who have a hard time getting to the doctor. There are only a few clinics in North Carolina that provide this service, so there's going to be a lot of travel involved. 3 in-person appearances for a patient in order to get reproductive care. Clearly, that is medically unnecessary. The doctors across the board say that it is. It is simply a way to ban abortion. And make no mistake, if these legislators vote to override this veto, they are voting to ban abortions in North Carolina, and they are breaking their promise to their constituents.
And it's all the more egregious because Florida has now passed a 6-week ban, meaning the solid sort of South in terms of how far people would have to leave the whole region in order to get abortion care is pretty egregious. Have you had a conversation with Representative Cotham, who I think a lot of people would argue betrayed the people who voted for her, particularly the women who voted for her? Have you had a face-to-face conversation with her about whether she will uphold the promise she made to her constituents to uphold their right to govern their own bodies?
I've talked with her about this and other issues facing the General Assembly this session. She was on our side on most issues. And in fact, she was elected in a very blue district. And what I have told her is, I hope you can stand up to your new party like you just stood up to your old party, because one of the things she claimed was she wanted more freedom of thought. However, in this situation, the political bosses, the Republican bosses, are holding their votes. They know they need every single Republican in order to overturn this veto. So we're hoping that either she or one of these other Republicans will step forward and do the right thing here. You know, I'm sure they've said it before. We just don't need politicians in the exam room with women and their doctors. But that's something that we're seeing here, the way they have prescribed this, the burdens they put on a number of these clinics. Planned Parenthood says is going to be difficult to almost impossible for them to operate in North Carolina. And you mentioned the Southeast. We have become an access point in the Southeast. So there are waiting lists at these clinics with these additional burdens that they have put on women, doctors, and clinics. That's why this is going to operate as an effective ban. They put a 10-week ban on medication abortion, which is what most women use. So this is a wolf in sheep's clothing here. They have tried, really doesn't even sound that great, but they've tried to make it sound like a reasonable compromise. It's really a disguise for a bad bill that it's going to be disaster for North Carolina.
Well, please keep us up to date on how this is going. We will obviously be watching North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper. Thank you very much. Really appreciate your time this evening.